Hi sparkly beings, welcome back to my channel. Today I have about a 20-minute session for us. It's gonna open up your shoulders a bit and also help with mobility in your hips. That being said, whenever you're ready, meet me on your mat. Begin with me at the top of your mat. Get nice and situated. Go ahead and place your feet parallel to each other and just beneath your hips. Roll your shoulders down and back and roll your palms towards the front. You want to think about engaging all of your muscles here for mountain pose. So you're engaging your quads, your hamstrings, your glutes, your calves, your shins. And when you activate your core, you want to think about pulling your ribs towards your hips and your hips towards your ribs. So you should have that sensation in your body. Your biceps and triceps are active here. Everything is activated. Rooting down through all 10 toes. And release. Shake it out. Gently shift from left to right on your feet. Just getting an idea of where you're at in time and space. And then gently shift from back to front. Just rocking on your feet here. It's really important that you kind of calibrate your body before you want to send it into anything. All right, so face the front of your mat, roll your shoulders down and back, inhale both arms out and up to gaze up, lengthen through your spine here, get everything nice and long, and exhale, press the air away, chin to chest. Inhale both arms out and up to gaze up, get nice and long this time gently, hinge back. Let yourself lean back just a little bit here and exhale, standing, palms to your sides. Inhale, both arms out and up. This time on our exhale, we're going to swan dive flat back. Palms towards the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, palms to shins, flat back. Hold it here, engage your core, shoulders down and back away from your ears. Shoulder blades are acting as if they're squeezing a pencil between them. And release your palms to the mat on your exhale. Step it back for your plank. Hold in plank here. So get nice and rooted in all 10 fingers and all 10 toes. And think about, once again, drawing your hips towards your ribs and your ribs towards your hips. Getting nice and activated here. And when you're ready, go ahead and come into your version of chaturanga, so knees or not. Exhale, heart towards the ground. Inhale, heart towards the sky for a cobra or upward facing dog. And on your exhale, tuck your toes, bend into your knees, and lift your hips up and back for your first downward dog. Option to walk it out here. So just lifting one heel and the other and bending into the lifted heel's knee and bending into the other. Getting nice and long through your spine, biceps towards the front. On your next inhale, lift your right leg up and back behind you for three-legged dog. So inhale here, three-legged dog. And exhale, we're going to open our hip towards the right and let our foot drift behind us on the left. Just breathe into that space. Try to remain balanced in the weight of both of your hands here. And inhale back to center. Exhale, step it through, low lunge. Inhale here to lengthen through your spine. And on your exhale, rise for high crescent. Pinkies maybe towards one another. Think about drawing your left hip more towards the front and down. So your pelvic bone is tilting down here. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, guide your arms behind you, clasp fingers here, open your heart, and lean back gently. Nice and grounded in both feet, really pressing into that front right heel, and just breathing into this space, opening your heart, opening your throat. Inhale to rise. Exhale. Drift forward and let your torso come on the inside of your thigh, or as much as it can. and your palms are towards the sky, think about drawing your palms towards the front of the room here. And gently release your hands back to your lower back and release your palms to the mat. Step back for your plank. Inhale here, exhale chaturanga, your version. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And exhale, tuck your toes, bend your knees and lift your hips up and back for your downward facing dog. So we're gonna do an interesting version of down dog. We're gonna do three-legged dog, but we're gonna do a shoulder press. So inhale, right leg high. I know we just did right leg, but inhale, right leg high. And press your hands into the mat and just bend your elbows a little bit. Shoulder press. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let your right leg come down. Inhale, left leg up and back, three-legged dog. Exhale, step it through, low lunge. Inhale here to lengthen through your spine, and on your exhale, rise for your, high crescent. Don't look anywhere else except where is in front of you, because apparently you'll lose balance. So once again, really think about shifting your tailbone down towards the ground and almost kind of pressing your right hip a little forward. You're drawing it back in space, but that muscle in your hip is active here. Pinkies rotated away from your ears. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, guide both arms back behind you. Interlace your hands opposite from the previous interlacing. Inhale here to lengthen, and on your exhale, lean back and open through your heart. Grounding into both feet, grounding into your front left heel and your back right toes. And just holding space, opening your heart, opening your throat. Inhale to rise, and on your exhale, let your torso drift towards the inside of your left thigh. So when you come into this posture, I notice that I rotate my heel more towards the inside of me to frame and balance. So that is an option here for you, that, and you can also just place your heel down. Palms going up over your head. Guide them towards the front of the room. Now release them towards your lower back and place both palms to the mat. Step back for your plank. Inhale here. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, tuck your toes, bend your knees, and lift your hips up and back for downward facing dog. And just breathe it out here. Get nice and long through your spine. Intentionally press into all 10 fingers and all 10 toes. Take a little breather here. We're going to do the same shoulder press in three-legged dog on the left. So inhale, left leg high, up and back. Exhale, shoulder press. And release. 2. So bending into your elbows. 3. Weight evenly distributed in your hands. 4. And 5. Exhale, step it through, low lunge. Inhale to rise. And exhale, we're going to rotate out into warrior 2. I will turn to face you. So warrior 2 on the left. Nice and long and grounded. Make sure your back foot stays on your mat. Don't drift off like I did. Gaze over your front middle finger. Once again, tailbone is tucked. Think about drawing your ribs to your hips. Nice and long through your spine. And really think about doing your best to keep your left knee towards the back wall. And remember to stay nice and straight through your back leg. Inhale to gently lean forward. On your exhale, palm towards the sky. And lean back for a reverse warrior. Nice and long through your side body here. Do your best to keep that elbow straight. The more active you can be in these postures, the more benefit you get out of it. But it just depends where you're at energetically when you come to your mat, right? If you're a little low on energy, just do your best from where you're at. Inhale to raise. And shift your left leg straight. Guide the left side of your foot parallel towards the back of your mat, and shift your front foot to point towards the other side. Well, your right foot to point towards the other side. We're here in Warrior Two on the right. So once again, tailbone down, hips to ribs, shoulders down and back, arms parallel to the ground, gaze over your right middle finger, nice and long through the spine, crown of the head towards the sky. Really getting grounded. Feel the strength in your body. Inhale to gently shift forward on your exhale, right palm towards the sky, and lift it up and back for reversed warrior. Once again, do your best to be straight in that elbow. And just be nice and long through your spine as much as you can. Breathe into your side body. Remember to stay bent in your right knee and nice and long in that back leg. And exhale to rise. Straighten through your right leg. Make sure that both feet are pointed with toes towards the front. Roll your shoulders down and back. Get nice and long through your spine. Inhale here. On your exhale, hands on your hips and hinge forward for halfway forward fold. Inhale here. And then on your exhale, bend into your knees if you feel like you need to let your torso drift in between or close to in between your thighs. So just honoring where you're at, doing your best to lengthen through your spine and get the crown of your head towards the ground, but without fighting anything. No internal resistance here. Just surrender to where you're at in time and space. On your next inhale, rise halfway lift. Exhale, press it all the way up. Roll your shoulders down and back. Bring your arms out to your side. Put your right foot towards the front. Inhale here to lengthen. And on your exhale, hinge from your right hip and let yourself come into your version of triangle. So whatever that looks like for you. Your hand on a block maybe. And get nice and long through your spine. You want to think about drawing your left hip back here. And open your heart towards the sky. Gaze up. On your next inhale, get nice and long through that arm. And on your exhale, we're actually going to rotate our torso over the ground and hold our arm over our head. So we're doing really subtle shoulder strengthening exercises here. Just honor where you're at. Well, the other one wasn't so subtle, was it? It's basically like a push-up, but not quite. So just really get nice and strong and rooted here. And release your left palm to the ground and let your body just hang over that right leg as much as you can. Option to stay a little bent in that front knee. An option to be raised on a block. And just breathing in and opening space for your intense side stretch here. And we're going to gently shift our outer edge of our right foot towards the outer edge of the mat and walk over to your left foot. We're going to do all of the things but in reverse. So point your left foot towards the left and get nice and long through your spine. Once again, option to stay bent in the knee for your intense side stretch. And just breathe into the space. Surrender to where you're at. Place your left palm somewhere beneficial for you on a block, your foot, your leg, wherever. And inhale your right arm up. Torso is still towards the ground, nice and long through your spine here, active through that shoulder blade. Doing your best to honor where you're at, breathing into this space. And then let your arm rotate up towards the sky as you open your chest more towards the sky as well. So breathing through your heart, opening that space, maybe gaze up if that feels nice on your neck. Shifting your right hip back towards the wall a little bit to really open through your torso. Nice and long here. And next inhale, do your best to press into your left heel and guide yourself all the way up to a weird, not even warrior two. Parallel both your feet. Inhale, open through your heart. Exhale, this time let yourself drift all the way down into your forward fold with wide legs, bending through your knees if that feels necessary for you. And let your arms dangle down in front of you. Maybe they touch the ground, maybe they don't. Just wherever you're at. And get ready to adjust. So place your hands on the mat. Inhale here to lengthen through your spine, and then heel toe, toe heel, your feet in towards one another. About a little bit wider than hips width distance apart as we come into our garland pose here. So we're going to bring our hands to heart center in prayer and press our knees away from us as our knees press into our elbows. Get nice and long through your spine here. Think about the crown of your head towards the sky. Your heart is open. And just breathe into your hips. Guide your palms down towards the mat. Shift your weight forward to walk your knees out. We're going to come into a nice little frog stretch here. So your shins are parallel to each other and your feet are flexed. They're towards the back wall if there's one behind you. And it's as if you were going to press your feet into the wall, but not. So here just get a sense for where you're at. You can feel free to shift your hips back and forth to kind of feel where it feels good for you to stay in this stretch. Option also to lower down to your elbows here if that feels good. And then option to lower your forehead down. I like to fold my arms, or maybe stack my arms folded near each other, and just breathe into that space, breathe into your hips, letting go of any tension here. And if you came down here with me, begin to walk your hands up. Bring your big toes together and use that to help press into the ground with your feet and guide your knees together. Come to sit back on your heels in a nice little thunderbolt pose here. Maybe shift your weight just to get a good sensation and feeling for where you're at. Bring your arms down to your sides. Right arm is nice and long. Your right fingers are tented. Inhale your left arm up and exhale, guide your head towards your left shoulder and bring your palm near or over your right ear. And just breathe into your neck here. And just opening up that space that we might have caused some tension in earlier. Maybe gaze up if that feels good. And one more breath here. And on your exhale, release. Same thing other side, so tend your left fingers into the ground. Also option, if you're struggling with this posture, you could be sitting on a blanket, a bolster, or pillow. So just for recommendation. Inhale, right arm up. Lean your head towards the right. And bring your palm as closer on your left ear. Nice and long through your left arm. And just breathing into that space. Breathing away any tension. Nice, long, dramatic, deep, nourishing breaths. So the breath helps in points of tension because it's connected to your nervous system, your fight or flight system. So the more relaxed your breath can be, the more your fight or flight system relaxes, which means your body has less tension in it. So that's part of why you can get into a deeper stretch when you're slowing your breath. And inhale here, exhale, release. Just inhale to lengthen through your spine and get nice and tall through the crown of your head. And then on your exhale, turn your head to gaze over your right shoulder. Exhale back to center, and same thing other side. Gazing over your left shoulder. And come back to center. Roll your shoulders down and back. Roll them forwards. Take both hands, bring them to the left to help shift your weight to your seat on the left. Come into a nice, easy seat to face me. Maybe scooch around on your mat however you need to. Roll your shoulders down and back, nice and long through your spine here. Once again, option to sit on a pillow, bolster, blanket, whatever you need to help kind of open your hips and create length in your spine. Palms up towards the sky for receiving. Feel free to close your eyes here and focus on your breath. Scan through your body. Feel if there's any tension still residing. Honor it and breathe it away. As you inhale, feel the breath coming from the base of your spine all the way to the crown of your head. And as you exhale, through the crown of your head, all the way to the base of your spine. Inhale both arms out and up over your head. As you exhale, press hands together in prayer at heart center. Inhale here to lengthen through your spine. And as you exhale, gently hinge forward, bowing to yourself. And thank yourself for this opportunity to reconnect to your mind, body, and spirit. Namaste. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you feel a little bit more open and stretchy. And if you really liked it, then go ahead and like and subscribe, as I like to release these videos often. If you feel like anybody else would really appreciate it or benefit from it, go ahead and share it, as it really helps me help more. Until next time, take your light and your shine everywhere through your day, and namaste.